to a man the other day, which is my first mistake. I was talking to him about feminism, second mistake. He told me he was a feminist. I was like, okay, cool. And then he said, yeah, I think all women are equal to me. And I was looking at him, and he was wearing those kind of pants that you can zip the ends off of to make shorts. And I was like, oh no, I don't want to be equal to you. I'd rather be oppressed than be a loser. No, I wasn't that cool in high school. I was super into the British boy band One Direction. It's fine. I did read a lot of very erotic One Direction fan fiction. Yes. There's nothing says beginning to explore one's sexuality more than jacking it to a British twink ensemble. Yes, yes. A lot of it was really bad. A lot of it was written by like 13-year-old girls, so I ended up reading like the exact same story like all the time. It always started off with like a first-person female narrator. And she'd say, I woke up. My mom was banging on my door telling me to get out of bed. So I got out of bed and put on Converse and skinny jeans because I don't like to dress like other girls. Then I went over and looked in the mirror. People always tell me that I'm pretty, but I don't believe them. I'm just not conventionally attractive like other girls because I have brown hair. Also, my dad left us a few years ago, but don't worry, that didn't have any impact on my emotional needs. So that's foreshadowing. She'd walk downstairs and she'd be like, my mom was standing at the bottom of the stairs with her hands on her hips. And she said, honey, money is tight, so we're selling you to One Direction as their sex slave. Promise I'm okay now. I was at a concert the other day. This was not a One Direction concert, unfortunately. This guy kind of like came up behind me when I was there, and he like grabbed my hips and started like grinding on me. And I turned around and I was like, hello? And I was like, no. And he was like, why? He was like, why? And I was like, no. Eventually, he just like walked away. Eventually, he was kind of tough. But then later, he came back up to me and he said, you know what? I'm actually really sorry about doing that. You know, I did some thinking. But you know what? Kudos to you for sticking up for yourself. Guys, sometimes you get assaulted, but sometimes you get assaulted and you get kudos. I really could have just gone home having been assaulted. I would have been like, well, that sucked. But now I have kudos. I'm like, I'm fine. I'm fine. Everything is totally fine here. Wow. Do you guys think that was a test? Like, do you guys think, like, he only is into women who, like, are really strong and confident and stick up for themselves, which is why he forces himself on them? I bet his fantasy is, like, you know, he forces himself on someone, and then I just beat the shit out of him while screaming, girl boss! You guys want to know something? Okay, we're just going to continue on this weird shit that I did as a child. When I was like around 11 or 12, I started having like these dreams where I was either pregnant or had a kid. And they were like happy dreams. I just feel like that's my body's form of propaganda. Like, they're like, oh yeah, if you have a kid, you'll be so happy. And I'm like, why? And it's like, it doesn't matter, just get the baby out. And if you don't have kids, then you're just gonna stick a lot of cutting up your meat sleeve for the next 50 years. The first kind of tampons I ever used, actually, they were cardboard. Do we know the difference, cardboard and plastic tampons, men? Listen, cardboard tampons, like the first time I ever tried to put one in, it felt like I was sticking it up the wrong hole. It didn't feel right. And so what I did was I went and sat in front of like a full-length mirror. And I started trying to put one in again, and it wouldn't go up, so I took it out, put another one in. Eventually, I've gone through the entire box. And I'm crying, and I'm looking around. I just feel like I've just gotten out of like this blackout battle rage. Because there's like a little bit of blood on the floor, in between my legs. It is highly viscous. And then there's like bloody tampons scattered around me. And I'm like, oh my God, I've just lost some of my best men. I did ask my mom later, I said, hey, why did you give me cardboard tampons? It's the first kind of tampons I ever used. They really hurt. And she was like, oh, well, they're better for the environment. And I'm just kind of curious to know like what she thinks is better for the environment. One plastic tampon versus a whole box of cardboard ones. All right, you guys are great. Thank you. I'm Emma Schmidt.